I think most countries now offer English as a second language in the secondary school system, and obviously one of the things that is very important is to get the language skill, at least for survival. That's the first thing. Secondly, to do a little bit of research. The educational system is a vast system. We have over 5,000 colleges and universities in the United States, well over 5,000. Trying to pick a college or a beginning spot in their education system is going to be difficult. Most people know the big names, the Harvards and the Yales and Stanfords and Berkeley and that type of institution. But that may not be the appropriate place for a student to begin. My feeling is that going to some source of information in their home countries, if that's available, either through the various institutes like the Institute of International Education or overseas advising offices that are connected with U.S. consulates, can give a great deal of help and support. Also, the internet is a tremendous source of information. This is something that students didn't have 10 years ago or didn't use very widely, and now there's a great deal of information as well as misinformation over the internet, but that's a good source. Most colleges and universities have a website that that students can look at. I think also being aware that the American that they may see visiting their home countries and the American definitely that they see on television and on in the movies is not the typical American. I remember being in France at an international student fair a few years ago, and the students that I talked to, this was when the series about the Beverly Hills High School 90210, I think every student I talked to said, "Oh, you're from California. What's Beverly Hills like? And I want to go to that high school." And I thought, "Oh, please don't even think that this is what American students are like. This is really fiction." And so they should prepare that way as well. We always try to caution students about standing out, about being conspicuous. One of the big things is that in a society like ours, we have people who are willing to take advantage, who are ready to take advantage of others, and international students can sometimes be very vulnerable because they're not aware of some of these tricks that people can play. And of course, this would be the same thing that would be true anywhere that you were traveling. But since students are looking to stay for a while, they should be very familiar with their surroundings, with their community. They should learn the ways of their community if they're going to be surviving or living in it for a while. They should try to be wary, but not be totally intimidated by the society. They should know, for example, in their community where it might be safe to travel and where it might not be advisable to travel. They should know that if they're going to be in a city somewhere, they shouldn't be conspicuous in terms of showing a great deal of money. But this is all common sense. I would say the other thing is to try to learn as much about the culture that they're living in as possible and as quickly as possible. There are a number of ways of doing it. Even before they come to the United States, there are publications that talk about the American way of life and so forth. One of the pieces of advice that I give to people who come to me saying, "I would like to become an international advisor, what's the first thing I should do?" I have a volume on my bookshelf. It's called American Cultural Patterns, and I hand it to them and I say, learn about yourself first. learn about your own culture, because there's no way you're going to be able to appreciate others unless you know what your own value system is and you're aware of it. So learn about your culture. And I'd say the same thing is true with internationals. Know, have a good idea of what your culture is all about before you try to learn about another culture. So that, I think, is another piece of advice that's really important.